come up here and read 3 chapters of Matthew and go over the message I went over for my own Bible study on Messenger, just in case someone couldn't join, and I just thought it would reach more people. How I got this idea, I was just thinking about ways I could include Jesus more throughout my day, and one thing I do every morning is have coffee. And I thought, I wonder how I could include Jesus in that. And a couple days later, I saw a post on Facebook by Joyce Meyer. And she was saying that she gets up every morning and has coffee. And she said, well, I know that's what I should be doing, having coffee with Jesus. And I thought, that's weird. I just thought about that. And a few days after that, I messaged a friend. She asked how I was doing, and she responded saying she was doing good. And I told her I was having coffee, and she goes, coffee with Jesus? And I kind of laughed because it made me realize that I don't have to worry about including Jesus because he's already with me. The question isn't how can I include Jesus throughout my day. The question is how can I acknowledge him in even the smallest of moments. And so I decided to call this Coffee with Jesus, and I just realized I forgot to edit the title, but I think I can do that later. Anyway, I think I wrote down some verses. I did this on Tuesday. The first one, Revelation, chapter 3, verse 20. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. Jesus is already present and pursuing us. He doesn't force his way in. He gently knocks. Acknowledging him is like opening the door, letting him share in our daily life, even in something as ordinary as a meal or a cup of coffee. The next one I have is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 6. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. To acknowledge him is to consciously bring him into every part of life. Decisions, routines, joys, and struggles. When we do, he removes confusion, gives clarity, and directs us in the right way. Isaiah 65, verse 24. And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear. God knows the unspoken thoughts of our hearts. He responds not only to our prayers, but even to our quiet longings. His nearness is so great that our acknowledgement often meets his answer already waiting for us. And finally, Song of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 3. I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine. He feedeth among the lilies. This verse reflects the intimacy between Christ and his people. Acknowledging him is not a duty, but a response to love. Recognizing that we belong fully to him and he belongs fully to us. And those are the verses I have for my little message. And here I was going to read chapters 13, 14, and 15 of Matthew. I think it's a good idea that my message here on YouTube corresponds with the message in my Messenger group. And just an interesting fact, I am blind, but I I turned my speech off on my phone because I have a Braille Note Touch, so I'm actually reading Braille right now. So that way I'm able to, do things without you guys having to hear a quick, annoying voice in the background. Let's see. Matthew 13. Parables of the Kingdom. And I'm reading the King James Version, by the way. The same day went Jesus out of the house and sat by the seaside. And great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. A multitude is basically like a crowd. The sower, verse 3. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony places, where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But other fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, By hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their hearts, and should be converted, and I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When any one heareth the word of the kingdom, and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received seed by the wayside. But he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it, yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. He also that received seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. But he that received seed in the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit, and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. The tares, and this is verse 24 still, chapter 13. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, An enemy hath done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest, and in the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. Mustard seed, verse 31. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field, which indeed is the least of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs, and becometh a tree, so that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches thereof. Leaven, verse 33. Another parable spake he unto them, The kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal, till the whole was leavened. All these things spake Jesus unto the multitude in parables, and without a parable spake he not unto them, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables, I will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundation of the world. The tares explained, verse 36. Then Jesus sent the multitude away, and went into the house. And his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. Treasures, verse 44. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hid in a field, the which when, I don't know why it says that, or I don't understand. It says the which when a man hath found, he hideth, and for joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchantman seeking goodly pearls, who, when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it. The dragnet, verse 47. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast into the sea and gathered of every kind, which, when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good into vessels, but cast the bad away. So shall it be at the end of the world. The angels shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Jesus saith unto them, Have ye understood all these things? They say unto him, Yea, Lord. Then said he unto them, Therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which bringeth forth out of his treasure things new and old. And it came to pass that when Jesus had finished these parables, he departed thence. The rejection, verse 54. And when he was come into his own country, he taught them in their synagogue, insomuch that they were astonished, and said, Whence hath this man this wisdom, and these mighty works? Is not this the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Mary, and his brethren James and Joseph, and Simon and Judas? And his sisters, are they not all with us? Whence then hath this man all these things? And they were offended in him. But Jesus said unto them, A prophet is not without honor, save in his own country, and in his own house. And he did not many mighty works there, because of their unbelief. And that's the end of chapter 13 in Matthew. I'm going to look and see, where did I put my phone? If anybody said anything.
Speech on. See video, see video, button. Upload video videos, button. Loop, 19 minutes, 43 seconds. Zero watching now, top 10s, button. Zero watching now, 1 like. Top 10s, microphone unmuted, button. Create short, button. Selected. Welcome to the chat. Remember, chat options, button. Creator, share, button. Share.
Well, it's got 1 like. All right, I will continue. Let's see, where's the next chapter button? Next chapter.
Selected. Comment device. Flashlight. Link video. Switch off.
Whoops, sorry, that's my iPad. Parables of the Kingdom. Isn't that what I just read? Sorry. Yes, it is. Next chapter. There we go. Matthew 14. All right. From place to place. 1. At that time, Herod the Tetrarch heard of the fame of Jesus. Where did I put my phone? I'm going to set this one right here. Whoops. And said unto his servants, This is John the Baptist. He is risen from the dead. And therefore mighty works do shew forth themselves in him. For Herod had laid hold on John, and bound him, and put him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife. For John said unto him, It is not lawful for thee to have her. And when he would have put him to death, he feared the multitude, because they counted him as a prophet. But when Herod's birthday was kept, the daughter of Herodias danced before them, and pleased Herod. Whereupon he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she would ask. And she, being before instructed of her mother, said, Give me here John Baptist's head in a charger. And the king was sorry, nevertheless, for the oath's sake, and them which sat with him at meat, he commanded it to be given her. And he sent and beheaded John in the prison, and his head was brought in a charger and given to the damsel, and she brought it to her mother. And his disciples came and took up the body and buried it, and went and told Jesus. Into a desert place. Verse 13. When Jesus heard of it, he departed thence by ship into a desert place apart. And when the people had heard thereof, they followed him on foot out of the cities. And Jesus went forth and saw a great multitude, and was moved with compassion toward them, and he healed their sick. Feeding 5,000, verse 15. And when it was evening, his disciples came to him, saying, This is a desert place, and the time is now past. Send the multitude away, that they may go into the villages and buy themselves victuals. I'm not sure what a victual is. But Jesus said unto them, They need not depart. Give ye them to eat. And they say unto him, We have here but 5 loaves and 2 fishes. He said, Bring them hither to me. And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass, and took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, and looking up to heaven, he blessed and brake, and gave the loaves to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. And they did all eat, and were filled. And they took up of the fragments that remained 12 baskets full. And they that had eaten were about 5,000 men, beside women and children. Walking on the sea. Verse 22. And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship, and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray. They use apart here basically to say alone, I'm pretty sure, in the context anyway, that I'm getting. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the 4th watch of the night, Jesus went unto them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit, and they cried out for fear. But straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand, and caught him, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? This is really like our salvation, you know? When we call on Jesus, he answers, but when we lose faith, we start to fall because we're trying to do things in our own hands, in our own strength. But then we call on Jesus again, and he saves us. And I think that story really represents our salvation in that way. Verse 32. And when they were come into the ship, the wind ceased. Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a truth thou art the Son of God. At Gennesaret, I don't know how to say that. Verse 34. And when they were gone over, they came into the land of Gennesaret. And when the men of that place had knowledge of him, 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. I have one more chapter to read. Sorry. They sent out into all that country round about, and brought unto him all that were diseased, and besought him that they might only touch the hem of his garment, and as many as touched were made perfectly whole. And that's the end of chapter 14. Let's see if anybody said anything.
Speech on. Creator tools. Share. Button. Creator. Chat option. Welcome to Twitch. Selected. Turn on camera. Creator short. Microphone mute. Top fans. Zero watching now. 1 like. Live. 21 minutes 8 seconds. Finish. Button. Speech off.
Not yet. Okay, perfect. Next check. Oh wait, I think I did that wrong. Sorry, I'm trying to get chapter 15. Yes, okay, I did it right. Never mind. Okay. Chapter 15. Then came to Jesus scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he answered and said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? For God commanded, saying, Honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death. But ye say, Whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, It is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me, and honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free. Thus have ye made the commandment of God of none effect by your tradition. Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoureth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines and commandments of men. And he called the multitude and said unto them, Hear and understand. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man. Then came his disciples and said unto him, Knowest thou that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying? But he answered and said, Every plant which my heavenly Father hath not planted shall be rooted up. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind, and if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Declare unto us this parable. And Jesus said, Are ye also yet without understanding? Do not ye yet understand that whatsoever entereth in at the mouth goeth into the belly, and is cast out into the draught? But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murderous adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashen hands defileth not a man. Tyre and Sidon, verse 21. Then Jesus went thence and departed into the coasts of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coasts, and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. And she said, Truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. Then Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. By the Sea of Galilee, verse 29. And Jesus departed from thence and came nigh unto the sea of Galilee, and went up into a mountain, and sat down there. And great multitudes came unto him, having with them those that were lame, blind, dumb, maimed, and many others, and cast them down at Jesus' feet, and he healed them. Insomuch that the multitude wondered when they saw the dumb to speak, the maimed to be whole, the lame to walk, and the blind to see, and they glorified the God of Israel. Feeding 4,000. Verse 32. Then Jesus called his disciples unto him, and said, I have compassion on the multitudes, because they continue with me now 3 days, and have nothing to eat. And I will not send them away fasting, lest they faint in the way. And his disciples say unto him, Whence should we have so much bread in the wilderness, as to fill so great a multitude? And Jesus saith unto them, How many loaves have ye? And they said, 7, and a few little fishes. And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the ground. And he took the 7 loaves and the fishes, and gave thanks, and brake them, and gave to his disciples, and the disciples the multitude. And they did all eat, and were filled. And they took up of the broken meat that was left 7 baskets full. And they that did eat were 4,000 men, beside women and children. And he sent away the multitude, and took ship, and came into the coasts of Magdala. And that is the end of chapter 15.
Speech on. Finish. Button. Lip. Zero watching now. One like. Lip. 37 minutes. 30 seconds. Zero watching. Top 10s. Top 10s. Microphone unmuted. Button. Create short. Selected. Turn on camera. Welcome to live chat. Remember to
Alrighty. Still no one watching. I'm just going to close in prayer really quick. Dear Lord Jesus, I just thank you for giving me this idea of starting a live thing here on YouTube. Lord, I just ask that you let it prosper if it is your will. And I just ask that you will let this touch some people's heart, Lord, not because I'm doing this for attention, but simply because I want to spread your word, Lord. And I just really hope that I can do you this favor. In your mighty name I pray. Amen. All right, it was good reading and studying the Bible with you. Enjoy and God bless.
Speech on.
The next one I will schedule.
Microphone unmuted. Top 10s. Top 10s. Zero watching now. One like. Lip. 38 minutes. Finish. Button. Finish. Lip. 30. Finish. Button. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Cancel. End. Button.